When I studied crazy English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my mind, own hands. hands. When I studied crazy English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Crazy English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my deadline was in my own hands. When I study, when I study reading English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and, and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands, hands. When I studied crazy English, I began I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood understood that my destiny was in my own own hands hands hands. When I studied the crazy English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. hands. When I started learning English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my other. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Korean English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. Destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grading English, I began to change. I started I started to realize that my life had had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. hands. When I started studying English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Korean English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Korean English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Korean English, When I studied Korean English, I began to train. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influencing other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I I studied grading English, I began to change. change. I started to realize that my life had had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood understood that my destiny was in my own hand, own hand, own hand, hand. When I studied graded English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Greek English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Greek English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. Own hands. Own hands. When I studied Greek English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. Own hands. Own hands. When I studied grade English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was, was in in my own hands. Hands. When I studied the English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied Greek English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I started Greek English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. Own hands. When I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grade English, I began change. Change. I started to realize that my life life had the meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. 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 When I studied crazy English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future, and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied great, when I studied great English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally, I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. In my hands. When I studied grade English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grade English, I began to change. When I studied grade English, when I studied grade English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied crazy English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied study English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood at that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied when I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied English, when I studied English, I began to change. I finally realized that my life had meaning. I could control my future. When I studied English, When I studied English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. On hands. When I studied English, I began to change. I realized that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied crazy English, English, I began to change. I started I to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied crazy English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grading English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grading English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grading English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grading English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands. When I studied grading English, I began to change. I started to realize that my life had meaning. I could control my future and influence other people. I finally understood that my destiny was in my own hands.